Hey friends, it's Jabdoodles or Crow, whichever one you decide to use, and welcome back to my channel. So, we're talking about something that you might have already heard of or maybe even used, and that is the art app Cara. I'm kind of sure you've already heard of it because it blew up on TikTok and on Instagram back in the summer of 2024, which was last summer as of recording this. But it was blowing up as a whole new AI free platform that artists could use to post on, and art enthusiasts to go on and commission other artists. And it was this huge thing for a little while. And it prided itself on this anti-AI sentiment where your art on meta platforms wasn't going to be used to program AI features and AI image generators, and it was supposed to be free of bots that could scam you, and it was meant to really just optimize the artist platform for portfolios, business, and commissions. But we haven't really heard much about it since the summer. But that's weird, right? So, in this video, we're going to talk about exactly that and why Cara kind of fell off for artists and why it kind of blew up, but then really fizzled out over time. So, for those of you who weren't really in the summer loop, what is Cara? Cara is an app for artists by artists, and it was made with the intent of providing a space for people and artists to post portfolios and bring in web traffic for its users. Its existence was a huge thing because it was meant to combat the AI revolution that's happening right now, and how many artists whose work is on different platforms meta platforms like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, those programs are sampling artists' work to program their AI image generative features, as well as other generative features that they were using. And a lot of artists did not like that their art was being scanned and essentially stolen and reworked for AI, because AI you can't make AI art. You make AI images, yeah, but it's not art. So, the summer of 2024, the issue reached a pretty big peak in popularity and its controversy, and people being wow, I don't like all these scam bots texting me, or people oversaturating the market with all these AI photos and saying that they drew this or that AI art is real art. And it was really destroying the market for artists and their ability to sell commissions, but also having their art and creative liberty pretty much stolen. And it's never gonna look like AI art is never going to look like art an artist made. You know, we get the hands, and we get the fun hands, and then we get the fun text that usually doesn't make any sense and is probably not even in any distinct language. But anyways, I digress. Artists wanted a platform to really escape that, and they wanted to escape all this creative nuance on these AI supporting platforms. And essentially, when Cara became popular back in April, everyone flocked, and it reached a peak between June and July of the summer of 2025. And when they came to this app, or even myself, I made a Cara profile too because I really wanted to check out the app and see the kind of community that would be present there. And the app itself offered a very clean user interface UI, where there was a portfolio tab and a timeline tab, all included in the profile tab. And then in addition, you could link your website and post the kind of artist you were, as well as your availability as an artist, such as if you work by contract or if you are freelance. And it was built with the purpose of showcasing your work, but also giving you some social features to have just a general timeline separate from your portfolio. And there was also a messaging feature too. And it really gave you the platform to really just socialize and market your work as an artist to art enthusiasts as advertised. And the main page features a general explore page that doesn't seem to follow a very specific search algorithm or tag trends, but rather sorted by recency and randomization by the general popularity. There's also a monthly tag that you can follow, for the month of March, which just passed. There's a tag for you to participate in and use, and it's called March of Robots, and there's basically just a bunch of robot art under it, a bunch of fun mecha robot art for people. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there is a train passing by, and it is completely killing my flow. But yeah, there's basically a tag where you can participate and make your own art for it, and it changes for every month. You can also filter things by post by category, as well as media and the general program you might have used for it. And you could kind of look at the specific types of art you wanted, but again, it doesn't follow standard search trends your average Explore or For You page that you would find on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. And it doesn't seem to have a specific algorithm from my months of actually using the app. So there's the app and how it works. weeks. And the app peaked in search trends, actually, like huge peak in search trends around early June, but then staggered at around early to mid-July of 2024. And its peak downloads happened in a single week. Like when I said everyone flocked, and it peaked in a single week. Its peak downloads hit 650,000 downloads like in that week. Profiles and posts like flooded the app. It was like super exciting, and seeing everyone post so frequently and post like their art and everything they had to offer, like it was really awesome to see how active this community was. And I was kind of part of that week that everyone was downloading it, because like the trend on TikTok like reached its peak like maybe around like late July, or like early July. And anyways, but like it was like this huge thing. However, over time, the active amount of users on this app sharply decreased around like early August and like the following winter of said peak, and the app seemed to have taken a sharp turn, and its online popularity essentially dwindled. And now nobody really talks about this. So why did that even happen? Like, why did the spark die? Well, from my experience, one reason why it could have fallen off was, for me personally, the UI and algorithm was a little wonky. It didn't really allow things to trend with hashtags. So when I was on my For You page, I couldn't see like the specific like styles and fandoms of art that I like to view, even though people could use hashtags on the app. But it felt very random. And it seemed that the hashtags themselves were only used for searching like through the explore page, or searching through like the general like post catalog of the app. And my explore page wasn't very tailored to me to find the artists or the categories that I liked, like the fandoms I follow and the style of art of my niche. There wasn't like a lot of anything, or even like pop culture stuff that is popular now, like Monster High and like general aesthetic art. And it was just random. That, and it isn't optimized for gaining a following, from my experience, and from a lot of other artists that I ended up becoming mutuals with, who some of them still do post but didn't really gain a following. User to user interaction felt very limited, as you're not going to message someone if you have like all of a sudden followers, and it doesn't make messaging people very approachable. And you could be active on the app for like weeks to like months and only get like a handful of followers. Like I think at the time of like posting this, I have like 7 followers, and I made the app like over the summer, or not the app, but I made my profile over the summer, and like I was super stagnant. I get like a follower here and there, and like that was pretty much it. And even then, like for popular artists, like posts usually wouldn't even break like 1,000 likes. Like on the explore page, when I would see like what was trending, like the most popular posts I see couldn't even break 1,000 likes, and it was, I don't know, like it just didn't feel like it was built for exposure. The lack of post engagement could also be attributed to the lack of like an algorithm that really tailors the experience for you, and it kind of leaves your hopes of exposure and commissions as like advertised to artists like to potentially just be nothing. It wasn't necessarily optimized for artists as a business as it was for artists to showcase, which was heavily implied for like the app being popular, as well as like what the CEO of the app had released as a platform for artists to market and for artists to really show off and to other art enthusiasts and buyers. And it just became more of a program for artists to simply showcase and hope you were just seen in the recent posts, or pray you'd end up on the randomized explore page, irrespective of if you had tags or not. And to dig further, it wasn't necessarily optimized for enthusiasts and artists, or buyer people who like to buy art. It wasn't really optimized for that. And I say this in the sense that because the algorithm doesn't tailor, it doesn't really present the kind of art that people are looking to buy if they like a specific style, or specific media, or like specific like fandom, or like tag that they're kind of looking for, like the Monster High tag, or maybe like something random, like maybe they want Riverdale art, who knows. And if the algorithm isn't necessarily molded to you, and like you don't have this like specific algorithm tailoring to the kind of content that you want to see, you end up having to basically dig through the recent posts or search a tag and then like dig again, and it doesn't really give you the opportunity to see stuff of your niche, or see stuff that like typically you would want to see based off of the posts you've interacted with. I think it's very wonderful that the app does focus on like the whole anti-AI sentiment for artists and being very proactive in that sense. I really love that it acts as like an act of rebellion, right? And I totally agree with it, but it doesn't leave room for other features vital to the social media growth artists need. So like there's like this great feature about it, but it isn't optimized for what artists usually post on the internet for. And this lack of like versatility in the app and the lacking of certain features also includes like the unsteady financial growth that the owner of Cara, Zina Zhang, like has released and said, like talked about. Cara is considered opening to like crowdfunding and nonprofit collaboration, and that was in a statement released by the owner. And it also like wanted to leave potential for the app to be subscription only. And here's my problem with that. With dwindling activity on the app, that doesn't seem necessarily realistic, as the amount of user profiles it like that Cara app now hosts costs about $600,000 like US dollars to run. That and making the app subscription only doesn't seem very ideal and almost detrimental to the artists who are on the app, because if you're not making a profit off of this app and it's not optimized for buyers and like person-to-person communication, it doesn't really make itself attractive as a subscription only program, because like if you're not making money off of it, then where are you getting the money to use the app from? And then Zhang has also released information about like recent corn bots flooding the platform, and she's having a hard time like regulating the bots, as well as like salary costs of running the app, and it really leaves the app to this really unstable future. And there's yet to be a follow-up on this statement. And I find that a lot of this could be attributed to the fact that the app has never left its beta stage, and to this day it's still in beta. And it's been out for over 2 years as of recording this video. And little improvement was made for the app besides like some general like UI and bug fixes. And now there's just a lot of nuance about its future and what is left for the artists that are using the app, or what is left for artists to look forward to like in social media. And with this little improvement and with all of this nuance around the app was the reason why I personally don't use the app anymore. Like I still have the app downloaded on my phone, so I can just I just never got around to deleting it. But I still have a profile on the app, but I don't post anymore. And a lot of artists don't post anymore on Cara either, or link their Cara profiles in like Discord servers, or like link their Cara profiles on like Instagram and other social medias. Like it's not as widely used anymore from that lack of accessibility that artists were looking for. And since the app wasn't optimized for profit, communication, engagement, or user retention, I feel that's why it kind of fell off. And by no means am I saying Cara is a bad app. I think what Cara stands for is phenomenal and very wonderful. And if anything, an improved algorithm could like solve like half of these problems. And I wanted Cara to be a good app. And again, what it stands for is like hella admirable. Like giving artists a platform to share and to create and to communicate without the presence of AI and like meta moderators and all the stuff that meta usually comes with. I think offering a platform away from that is extremely productive, and I think extremely proactive of Zina Zhang, and I really admire her for that. And again, like the owner herself is like a major girl boss. Like she was on Forbes under 30, she has all this business education, like she is a well-established woman and an artist herself. And I feel that the way that Cara went really undermined all the business knowledge that she has, and her ability to really optimize the app in a way that could be amazing. I just think it's lacking that ability to grow, because again, they aren't open to venture capitalists, investors, or anything of that nature. It is a small team and then the CEO. The app slowed so significantly in activity, and engagement again is lower than what it was before. But I'd love to see Cara as a project picked back up and further developed, so that it can become something even greater than what it even promised. I think that the app itself is a beautiful act of defiance against meta and AI, and I 100% respect Zina Zhang and her app for doing exactly that. I just really respect it, man. However, in the end of the day, artists are business people, and we need money. You know, for people who are college students, or people who just do freelance, or people who are trying to get into the commission scene, it isn't really optimized for any of that. But it has so many key features that could make it so great. Anyways, y'all, that was a mouthful. I know this was definitely a more packed video with a lot of information, but I wanted to try a new style, try something a little different, and I've been wanting to talk about Cara as an app for so long. Like, I had such an opinion, and again, everything I've said today, I do have like facts, and I'll if you guys want to look at the statement yourself and see what Cara's kind of working on, like, I will definitely link that in the description of this video if you guys want to click on that. And this video in no regards serves as hate towards the Cara app or its developers or developer, girl boss. But maybe we can revive it, or maybe we can push Cara to become better. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I've been gone for a while, but it does make me happy that I do now have some newfound time to myself where I can upload more. So maybe you can expect to see videos more often. But yeah, don't forget to leave a little like for me, or maybe even subscribe if you guys want more videos where I'm just talking. You guys get to see my art, and you guys get to hear some cool information or advice. I do make a lot of different kind of videos. And yeah, tell me what you think about the Cara app, and if you think it had a lot of potential, or do you disagree with anything that I said? Maybe comment that down below and tell me about it, and I will 100% respond. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye!